if you're a YouTube content creator and you take a lot of time to edit videos, create thumbnails, learn how to do titles, all of those kind of things, I built a tool called Launch Lens to solve a lot of those things. Now, a lot of this started with myself not really being good at creating thumbnails and knowing what titles to do. So I thought, with all the AI tools out there, why not create one ourselves? I just posted a video and I want to kind of live show what it can do and how it's helped my process. So right here, I just made a new point guard build video. That's not really the point. The point is make a new video. We'll come here to launch lens. So you have to upload it first, and then you'll come and optimize your video. So what it's going to do is when you optimize it, it's going to look at the entire transcript of the video. And then, I have set up through some of the AI systems where it's going to try to give you the highest, or the best kind of psychological titles that go with it. It's not going to guarantee better click-through rates or anything like that, but of course with these types of titles and the way it's going to do it, it should give you a better opportunity, or at least maybe get your brain flowing on what type of titles that you wanted to utilize, or maybe the best direction. So you'll see there's going to be three kind of psychological factors that are taken into account. Now for some types of videos it's not going to be as great for, because it's going to be like an NBA 2K video has specific titling, so it might not be perfect for it. So you might have to adjust a little bit. But here it is. We have desire, fear, and curiosity as your three here. And so with these, when you make the video, you'll kind of really know if this is going to be a usable title. And so for me, I really do want to try a new style. NBA 2K titling has been very consistently one way. So I want to try these. And everything kind of leads into this A/B tester here that we'll get into. But so this auto pulled this from the transcript. These are all three things that are 100% in the video. It's season 4. And these are kind of those. So with this, you can also create alternative titles. So if you don't like this, you can edit them, change them to whatever you want. But you can also, if you kind of like this style, you can click alternative here, and it's going to kind of rerun the process with just that one psychological title. So it's going to send that back out and then have our system analyze it, kind of take a different path with how it wants to do it. And so you can see it popped in. This PG is a cheat code, builds a cheat code, and then that was the first one. So once you do that though, now it pops in your selector for the A/B tester. And so now you need to set a primary, a secondary, and all this stuff. And you'll see why here in a second. So we're just going to leave these three, the normal ones, as the three selected. And all of this leads into your YouTube page, where the A/B tester is now a feature. So YouTube, I think it was a few months ago, they now have a new A/B test feature that auto kind of has that feature built into YouTube. So I'll show that here in a second. But so yeah, the titles are auto generated. Perfect. You can keep alternating them. You can teach our system what kind of titles you like. So if you click the star here, you can favorite. If you don't like it at all, you can delete it. Then we have copying. And you can kind of read, our system called it the Holy Trinity of the psychology. So then we can go to details here. And so with the details, that's going to be your description and all of the tags that go with the video. So it does generate the entire description, more of the SEO based, with all the new large language models. And I think it's Gemini that runs on YouTube. I'm not sure, but they have their YouTube AI. Their system is going to read a lot of things. So it's probably also reading the transcript. I know it generates transcripts for every video that it can. And I'm pretty sure it's going to read the description. So I think the descriptions become even more important in 2025, 2026 YouTube. Could be wrong. I don't 100% know, but my guess is a lot of this stuff is being fed into their language models that are going to be kind of trained on this. So it's going to take out a lot of the things that we talked about in the video, hitting on a lot of the key factors of that. It does auto input timestamps, and this is legitimate timestamps in the video. From the transcript, it can pull all those out. And so all of these will auto, populate on the YouTube. You'll see if people have timestamps. You can remove these if you want. And then it's going to give you some of the best tags that you can get. And if you don't like any of these, you can copy, edit them. We're working on the extension feature that we'll touch on another video. But we do kind of have these little descriptions here that can give you a little bit of insight into why it went with this. So For instance, this one said optimized for search by leading with primary keyword and a compelling hook, and then it provides a keyword-rich summary and uses timestamps to boost watch time and user experience. So again, if you want to skip around based on what you've said in the video, you can do that. And then it kind of gives you why these tags work. Kind of look at a lot of them. They're pretty good tags. And then kind of the key strengths overall of what this optimization is about. And so for myself, like I was a pro coach in the NBA 2K. So I kind of have the authority, data driven, actionable. You can see a lot of this stuff is trying to put your video in the best place it can be to be promoted within YouTube. Now down here at the bottom, you have a refinement. So our system does run on credits. Everything costs money. So there's like a credit system built in, but I think it's built for like, mid to lower size YouTubers that can like actually afford it. So the pricing, it's like $9 for 500 credits and then $15 for 1,500 credits, I think. Pretty sure I can look. But the refinement here, you can select which one of these, and in this, you can edit it. I actually really like this, so I'm actually not going to edit any of it. But you'll type in, add 10 timestamps to this, and it will resend it back into the system and come back out with even more like refined of what you want. So you can keep kind of talking with this and keep improving it. In a future update, I want to actually auto input like where you can set like your links one time and it will just remember. But we haven't got there yet. So now for the A/B test. So the A/B test, I think, is like the biggest feature that I've made, and it was very difficult to make. But pretty much what the feature or the A/B test is going to do, I'm going to do it live right here. So we're going to see this together, is from that titles, you set a primary, you set 2 secondary. It's going to save that to that title. And we have a thumbnail studio built into this. So let me pick which one I actually really like. Let's do this third one. I actually want this third one as the primary. So we'll do the curiosity one as the primary, and we'll set these two as the secondary. We'll do primary, secondary, secondary. Cool. So now we have this Pro MPG breaks the NBA 2K26 Season 4 meta. Perfect. I like that. That makes me curious to click it. Now we need a thumbnail to match it. So this is where the system is going to do its best. So this part has been very difficult. So live together testing it. So you have two options here. Some people already kind of have like templates or thumbnails that they already have on video. So let's say this is an optimization of like a previous video and you already have a thumbnail. That can like help guide our system to like kind of give it a reference point. And we'll have like a lot of reference points throughout this process. But that's if like there's an old video, you kind of like your thumbnail, but you just want to see what the system can do with it. You can click edit current. We're not going to do that here because we have 0 thumbnail. I can show you on another video how that looks. So we're going to go with the start fresh option here. So start fresh is going to bring up a full blank screen. This is our studio. So you kind of have like your YouTube, my videos. It has every single video on your channel. And then you're going to have like your studio. And this is the way for them to like talk to each other. So you can just come to the studio and make thumbnails without anything like that. But this is the way to get them to communicate. So you see at the top here, Curiosity has the title. This only happens when you click the A/B tester into this because it's bringing the data from that one video into the studio. Whereas if you just come to the studio and edit a thumbnail, it doesn't do this. So this is an entirely new process. I want to show this process off because I think this is like the biggest one that will help a lot of creators just get something going. Sometimes it can one-shot a perfect thumbnail, and sometimes it does take a while. But it can save you a lot of time and money. I know like the idea of this is not to like replace thumbnail editors, but to give kind of the lower, new YouTubers or like people who can't afford like super high-end thumbnail like creators or editors, just to give them an opportunity to like kind of level the playing field for themselves. And so that's kind of my headspace with it. As somebody, I've used Canva for years and tried Photoshop. I'm just not very good at it. And then really good thumbnail editors are like untouchable, but this is just kind of like to close that gap just a little bit. So we're going to click title match here. Now, two things happen here. It's going to use the title that you picked and connects it to the YouTube data. And it can bring back thumbnails of every creator. Now, the goal here is not to like steal thumbnails or do anything like that, but like this is all reference points. So we have a middle AI. I can explain the whole system if anyone's interested in actually knowing. But pretty much what it's going to do is take this reference point to just help us generate a thumbnail that is relevant to the space we're in. And like gaming, it's very difficult for us to just generally create one. And so I thought maybe like having reference points, we're still fine tuning this. So if things don't work out, we'll just have to, adjust from there. For me, I like a lot of these thumbnails I'm seeing. Like I really like this bottom right one by Steezo. He's a really big 2K creator. I like the look of like what's going on in that one. I actually like there's a lot of these that I like, but the idea is you pick one of them to help guide the system into generating a build that or a thumbnail that you like. So we're going to click this one and we'll just kind of see what happens. So now we're going to click apply. So now what the system is doing is it's going to analyze the photo or the image of the thumbnail, kind of pick out a lot of the like not assets, but like the theme of like what it's seeing. So it's going to kind of try to, look at the layout, look at the colors, look at how many assets are in the thumbnail to kind of give a very good like summary to hand off to the image generator that's going to actually generate the image for you. So now it's handed it off, and now it's going to try to match the title of what your video is with the thumbnail. So like these are actually going to talk to each other and try to like bridge the gap of like your thumbnail needs to like work with your title. A lot of like your best YouTubers, they like use each other kind of thing. Like if you have a title and their titles in the thumbnail, like those aren't very good anymore. So that's what this is going to do. It's going to try to match the curiosity with the reference point of what we just did. And then we're going to see this part together, and then we can refine it after. We have a lot of refinement tools that are built in, but this part, as the creator, makes me nervous a little bit just to see, live with you all. So this is what it made. Just out of using that reference image, it kind of created this image. So I think this is like a really good starting point. A lot of creators that are in the 2K space might not love what it generated the first time, but that's where we have a lot of like adjustments that we can make. So with our library, you could come in and grab anybody's thumbnail. So like I could go find Steezo's thumbnail and bring it back and say it didn't do it enough and things like that. We also have a lot of tools in here, like the reshoot tool. There's a lot of things in here. So for me, I think the thing is it got close, but what we want is a little bit more like that thumbnail that he had, and then we're going to kind of insert ourselves and change everything. So with that, one thing I do clearly need to fix is it's supposed to download that thumbnail into this asset library. So that didn't work. So it's good to, I guess, debug it live. So we're going to go to YouTube here. Now you're back on Launch Lens. You can go to this YouTube grabber. You'll be able to paste any thumbnail and it'll pull it in. And we're going to click the Use in Studio. So the Use in Studio is going to insert it into the chat. You can use this crop feature. Pretty much what we're going to just tell our AI system here is like make the layout like this one. So we're going to do this and we'll see what happens. So as you can see at the top too, we have a branching. Or versioning is the second kind of option that I like to think about. Soon I want to get into like a branch where you could like have different ways you're taking the thumbnail so you can come to like a conclusion instead of just one linear. But with the branches, you can pretty much pre-select. You can select any of them and be able to like go back. So if it generates something you don't like, you can just come back to this one and then delete it. And then, you can work from there. So it pretty much just layered in exactly what I put, and I don't want that. So I'm going to delete that branch, and we're going to come back here again. See, now it put it in here, and I'm going to say 4K quality. So me using the system, I've kind of figured out a few things, like saying like make it 4K or like 8K quality will just make it like really refine the pixels sometimes, because sometimes it can come out just a little blurry. So we kind of told it to take that original one, make it a little bit more our style. And again, I want to keep refining this. So we're going to click this. I really like this best build small guard, but I'm going to say, I'm going to like try to crop this a little bit like this. Perfect. I mean, it looks fine to me. SBG build. Sometimes you got to check the spelling. Okay. And now we're going to go find an asset of myself. We're going to insert this is one of my players. So we're going to insert them into the chat. This, I'm not going to click it, but like this one here that didn't have the name. Perfect. So it auto added us into this, and it's like, I could never make a thumbnail like this. So we could even go back to like this thumbnail right here. If this is like where you liked and you want a different like way to do this, you could then kind of adjust it from there as well. So we're at this point, it perfectly inputted our player into each of the things that the original thumbnail was doing. And now this is like one of the most unique ones that I like to do at the end, because just to give myself like a different way. So we have a lot of tools in here. You can do a lot of stuff. You can insert yourself, like your face. You can reshoot. You can make it more clickbaity, A/B test, like slightly change things. You can age yourself, expressions. You can change your gender, lighting studios. You can clean up things, whatever. The reshoot tool is what I want to test here. So what this is supposed to do is like analyze exactly what our thumbnail is and just remake it into a unique style. That's where like the reshoot tool really comes in. You can like start with theirs and then reshoot it, and you can get something like this where there's a lot going on, but this is like the reshoot point of like what's happening. So a lot of people, you know, you could adjust this still. I like a lot of the things that are going on. I would just tell it to add the background back. And so that's the part where I need to adjust the system to like download these past ones. But this is where I have looked into this, and the easiest way for me to do this is we have this little blue thumbnail or little picture, and this is how you like input whatever's on screen. So you can go back to a version, input that, and then we're going to come down here. This is the best way that our system kind of keeps talking with the title and stuff. So best PG build season 4 small guard. I mean, I don't mind that. That's not bad. I actually don't mind the thumbnail either. I think I'm gonna keep this and we'll just test it and see what happens. The bag flipping guy looks so funny in the background, but this is just to kind of get the process. So here, with all this now, we can click this, we can go back, you can copy the title. And so once you get your thumbnail done, you'll be able to go back to the video itself, A/B test, and it will link it here. And so this is where in the future, when the extension's done, you'll be able to auto kind of go. So I think I do have this set up to take us there, but we'll have to see. So we'll click this. Okay, yes, it did pop us up. So it popped up, as you can see, it auto inputted that thumbnail. I didn't add the other two, and it auto did the other two. So we do have the extension working pretty decently here. I didn't actually think that was going to work. So now you can A/B test this with whatever you want here. I'm going to go work on those off camera, but that's kind of the process so far of where LaunchLens is, how it can speed up your workflow when it comes to whether it's generating thumbnails, giving you title ideas, all of that. And that'll do it for this video. If you have any recommendations for the tool, if you want to test it, all new users get a free 100 credits to test it out. So you can go in and make some thumbnails or optimize some videos. If there's any things that you would like added, I would love to know. I have a Discord I'm going to put in the description below, just trying to gather feedback. There's also like a support tab in the tool itself that you can reach out to me with. But again, any recommendations I would love to hear. I'm trying to build the tool for YouTube creators. So again, if you see anything that you think could benefit it or make it better, or if there's any issues you run into, please let me know. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing. I'll see you in the next one.